Guys, Novatron here, and welcome back to another movie review. Sorry I'm speaking so quietly, people are kind of still asleep, but I wanted to get this off my chest as much as possible. So, I'm finally getting to another movie review after so long. So I went to go see Dumbo, but that's not what this one's about. I wanted to do a movie review on Dumbo the first time I went to go see it, but then I changed my mind a little bit. So I finally, yesterday, on a trip to Frontier City, going back to where some of my first videos were made, I watched the 3-hour movie of the final Avengers movie, Avengers EndGame, which I think is called Avengers 4 or Avengers 5, I don't know. Can't remember how much Avengers movies they've made, but anyway. So, I'm just gonna warn you guys, there is always major spoilers, especially for this movie. I don't want to make everyone mad, and you can't say that I didn't warn you, because here it is right now, major spoiler warning. But anyway, getting into the topic of Avengers Endgame, it's kind of hard, where do I start? The whole movie was great and amazing, but I have to get to here, let's start with this one. So, basically, there was a Fortnite reference in the movie. I think that was absolutely hilarious. For Fortnite people that play Fortnite, probably do Fortnite and all that, it's like me, that's pretty freaking hilarious. It would have probably been more hilarious if they played the Endgame mode, because if you think about it, when this movie came out, Avengers Endgame's the mode was pretty much out. So, anyway, it kind of would have made sense. I didn't want to make it too obvious, probably. Now that I think about it, yeah. But, people are, theorizing on, because Thor named that, a person that he was playing with on the server, named, Noob Master 62, I think. I don't know if I got that correctly, but if I did, thank you for my great mind, God. But anyway, what was another thing? Another thing that people were ranting about that I didn't really mind as much is 5 years after they couldn't go in time, when they went to go kill Thanos, Thanos did die, at the beginning of the movie. He got his head cut off by Thor. And there was no way to save the people that were snapped. Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, all the others. War Machine, Bucky, the Winter Soldier, Groot, the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy. But they did manage to kill Thanos. But in the process, not being able to save anybody because they didn't have the Infinity Stones. And when they wanted to go look for the Infinity Stones, Thanos told them this before Thor went for the head, finally. He said, I destroyed the stones, not because I didn't want to, but because I had to. Because if I didn't, I would have been tempted to go look for them again and destroy half its more population than I want the population to die. More than the population that I want them to die. Because he only wanted to kill half. He doesn't want to kill all of them. And he destroyed them to destroy them because no one else can get their hands on them, so they can do any harm besides him. Which in the process melted the gauntlet to his hand and all that. So he was pretty weak. Sorry for me, like I said, it's very late. So, but what was it? What else was there on the topic? Yeah. So they went 5 years in. Scott Lang, the Ant-Man, came back. And, came back from this portal thanks to a rat that stepped on a machine. And so Scott Lang saw, I think, his daughter, and went back to Black Widow and Captain America at where the Avengers were living at this point. Because I think, if I'm right, Avengers Tower was destroyed. So, what was it? It was, they decided to So sorry my camera gave out, so I'm not going to use the camera, but I want to keep a black screen in the background, so I'm just going to leave it like that, so sorry. So I'm going to use my screen recorder now, so. Anyway, Scott Lang, the Ant-Man, came to Black Widow and Captain America and decided to build this design of a time machine, which led to the new suit designs and the time machine being built, which also led to us seeing, from the comics, in my opinion, which I know is from the comics, Professor Hulk, which is Hulk, but Bruce Banner controlling him. Like, he's not out in a full rage. He has the Hulk power, he looks like the Hulk and all this, but he's controlled by Bruce Banner. So I thought that was pretty cool. But due to his injuries, he wasn't able to fight Thanos like I was expecting him to. But we also got to see the Chosen One from the Doctor Strange movie give Hulk the Time Stone, which was cool. But I would like to add at the beginning of the movie, what was the saddest part is we started off with Hawkeye's family, who ended up getting snapped, his 2 children, his daughter and son, and his wife, leading him to go to Tokyo, Japan, and seek revenge on some people, which he ended up sorting down, killing them, which Black Widow ended up meeting him in a new style of haircut, new look, new abilities, new weapons, and all that. Doesn't even have his bow and arrow yet. He has this katana sword. But they brought him back due to Black Widow saying that killing people in revenge isn't going to bring back your family, but we know how to. All you have to do is join us, and we can help you. And of course, Black Widow's words make Hawkeye trust her because, well, Hawkeye and Black Widow have been agents together for a while, so of course Hawkeye would trust her words. So, leading Hawkeye back to the Avengers. But back to the rant that I was saying, people did not like the way they made Thor. So Thor, after 5 years, made an Asgard on Earth due to Asgard's destruction in Thor Ragnarok. But what was it? He built one on Earth. Valkyrie was there from Avengers EndGame. No, not Avengers. Thor Ragnarok. My bad. And a lot of other people from Thor Ragnarok were in it too. So that was pretty cool. But that led to the Fortnite thing. But it also led to us seeing Thor's unfit body. Like, he had no purpose, and he felt like he had no purpose anymore. And he basically, they made him fat. They like put on like an extra. I think they explained on how they did like the body work and the makeup and all that. I think they like put like extra body fat and flesh on him or something like that. I don't know. You'd have to go watch the video on YouTube yourself, like I did. But like basically, yada yada yada. A lot of stuff happened. They managed to go back in time. All this crap, and then boom, it leads to the big fight. All this, which led up to Thanos. They went back in time. Yes, Thanos is still alive. I know. It's confusing. This movie is basically, it's usually just all about like time travel and all this crap, trying to save everybody. Of course, it leads to the beginning fight of Thanos without the stones, or at least some of the stones. I can't really remember this part, but it was Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America. 3 versus 1. And of course, Thanos obliterates them, but this also led to me pointing out that Thor still had Stormbreaker, but due to going back in time to finding the stones on Asgard, he had Mjolnir, the unbroken version. So he was wielding both the Mjolnir hammer and the Stormbreaker, which led to Thor almost dying by Thanos as Thanos tried to stab him with Stormbreaker, but then leading to Thanos getting hit in the face with Mjolnir, which we didn't know who was wielding it because it certainly wasn't Thor, and it certainly wasn't Iron Man because, Thor was on the ground almost getting pinned, getting cut off by the Stormbreaker, and Iron Man was basically knocked out from getting hit by Thanos. So then we turn to Captain America, and the hammer comes back to him, and he's holding it. Like, the only person in the Avengers I've seen hold Mjolnir is Thor and Vision, and Vision's dead. He's not coming back. I think the most confirmed test that we can accept in Avengers is I think Gamora. I don't remember if she came back or not. Vision and Loki. So yeah. And then some unimportant characters that I don't really care about, but that's just my opinion. But what was it? So Captain America's over here, a willing millionaire, and beat the crap out of Thanos. Thanos still gets back up, defeats Captain America in the fight again. Thanos puts all these Chitauri, which is like the enemies from the first Avengers movie, when Loki tried to take over Earth, New York, Manhattan. Go watch it. It's a good movie. But it led to that Chitauri battle. But then, as the Avengers thought they were gonna lose, they were outnumbered. Thanos, a bunch of Chitauri, tribe masters and all that. Portals start opening, and then that's when Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, all these other guys that got snapped come back, and they join the fight, and they fight the Chitauri, leading Thanos to the Avengers, which led to Thor getting pinned down, beaten up, everyone getting beaten up, even Captain America's shield was snapped in half by Thanos' sword, and he was beaten up. That's when Iron Man and Thanos first face off. And then Iron Man and Thanos first face off, and warning, this is big spoilers, so very sad. Iron Man and Thanos face off, and Iron Man at this point is basically in a predicament. He's very hurt. Thanos is a little wounded. Thanos pushes him off and then punches Iron Man in the face, getting him off finally. Thanos thinks he has all the stones on the gauntlet and snaps his fingers. Nothing happens. He looks over to Iron Man, and as the camera pans over to Tony, and he has all the stones on his Iron Man suit. It's like formed inside the Iron Man suit. And I'll never believe these final words that were from the old comics and TV shows. I loved the quote. He apparently didn't like wanting to say it, probably because it was sad, and he knew it was probably going to be ending his career, which we'll get to that in a minute. But he says, "You are this, but I am Iron Man," and he snaps his fingers. But like from Avengers Infinity War, when Thanos snapped his fingers, the gauntlet melted on his hand and half of his body was basically burnt to a crisp. This happened the same to Iron Man, except he couldn't take the pain and he ended up dying. Yes, Iron Man is dead. He is confirmed dead. There's no bringing him back. No one brought him back. He died. So he's basically on the list with Vision and Loki and Gamora and the rest of the important people. Iron Man is dead. He's gone. He's dead. So that led to a sad point with Pepper and him, his daughter. Yes, Iron Man has a daughter, and Spider-Man. So then at the end of the movie, I don't know what we're going to do with Thor, as Fat Thor, Professor Hulk, don't know what we're going to do with him. We don't have Iron Man. We still have the rest of the Avengers. Spider-Man still there. Captain America. Now, I don't know what they're going to do with him, because he's not dead, but at the end of the movie, he goes back in time to have some time with the girl he loved. If you watch Captain America, the movies, he goes and hangs with what soon becomes his girlfriend, I think wife, Penny, back in his timeline of I think it was around World War II or Civil War. But he goes back there, so we're left without Captain America. But I think he'll come back soon, very soon, if something big happens, like a big fight or something. But for sure, Iron Man is dead. He's gone. I don't know what they're gonna do with the rest of the Avengers. Captain America went back in time. So basically, it is the EndGame. It's the final end of the Avengers. It's the end of basically that point in time, which we move on to Marvel Cinematic Universe's Phase 3, which they'll start releasing more movies, starting with the first movie being Spider-Man Far From Home, taking Tom Holland's Peter Parker to London and, fighting crime due to frustration of his so-called, as everyone calls, father, but in my opinion, just another Uncle Ben, dying right in front of him in Avengers Endgame. It shows in the trailer of don't go watch Spider-Man Far From Home's trailer, due to if you already know if Iron Man's dead though. Don't go watch it unless you don't know Iron Man's dead. Because in the movie he pans over while he's on top of a building, he pans over and looks to his left, and all you see on this brick wall is a monument to Tony Stark's Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark's Iron Man. Which it brought some tears to my eyes because that's sad. It's like seeing another Uncle Ben go. It's like his father leaving him again. But I dang for sure well know that Phase 3, I'm pretty sure the Russo brothers can do something with it. I know they've done something really good with EndGame. It's going to be really confusing and very weird to see what they come up with in Phase 3, but I definitely know Spider-Man Far From Home is a big step in this, especially with some other Marvel movies that aren't in the cinematic universe concerning Venom 2, probably some other ones, and definitely in the making of a Captain Marvel 2, seeing how she played out in Avengers Endgame. But this is my movie review on Avengers Endgame. I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. Fantastic movie. Really confusing though, and I don't know what they're gonna do with the other superstars in the Avengers, but we'll figure out in Phase 3. So, Russo brothers, don't disappoint us now, because you haven't disappointed us yet, and I'm happy for that. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.